Hello students, in the previous video, we have started the chapter number 4 of your book, that is absorption by roots and rise of water up to xylem. In that chapter, we have completed the portion that why do we need water and why do we need minerals. Now today we will see how the roots are adapted for the absorption of water. Okay, so let's see. I have drawn the structure of the root. Now what is this root? This root is a descending underground part of a plant. What we can write? That is, root is an underground part of a plant that is adapted to absorb the water and minerals. Okay, that is adapted to absorb water and minerals, and that minerals in the liquid form, that is in the solution form. So this is the definition of a root, that it is an underground part of the plant and it is adapted to absorb the water as well as the mineral from the soil. Okay. Now we can see the functions of the root. What are the functions of the root? Point number 1. It fixes the plant to the ground. Can we write like this? It fixes the plant to the ground, that is firmly to the soil. Ground means it fixes the plant firmly to the soil. Now, second function of the root is the root hairs. These are the root hairs. These root hairs absorb water plus dissolved mineral from the soil. Okay. So the second important function is root hairs absorb water plus dissolved minerals from the soil. Second important function. Okay. Third important function of the root is, that is, the root conduct. Now what the root will do after absorption? It will not store the water. Definitely, because plant need water. So what the root will do? Now this root will conduct these water as well as the mineral from the soil, that is from the base of the plant till the tip of the plant. That is from the root to the leaves. So one more important function is it conduct. Same, water plus mineral from the soil to the leaves. That is from bottom to the top. So because of these three important functions, the most important function, if there will be no fixation of the plant to the soil, then we cannot say that whether the plant will survive or not. Okay. If the plant will not absorb water and mineral, then they will not prepare anything. We have already seen that some important minerals are required for the process of or for the formation of protein, amino acids, nucleic acid, okay, chlorophyll and different cell and cell organelles. We need these important minerals. So if the roots will not be there, then who is going to absorb the water? Who is going to absorb the mineral? No one. And ultimately the plant will die. So the important function and the definition of root is this. Okay. Now our next topic is how these roots are adapted so that they can absorb the water as well as the minerals. Clear? So let's start the next topic. Now see, next topic is how the roots are adapted to absorb water. Okay. How the roots are adapted to absorb water? Number one point is roots provide large surface area. Okay. Roots provide large surface area. Now, how the roots get large surface area? Roots are very thin. The answer is all the roots contains small millions of root hairs. In the previous figure, we have seen that if this is the root, then it will contain millions of root hairs. Now, these root hairs will increase the surface area of the root, and by this method, the roots will be easily absorbing the water as well as the mineral from the soil. So, point number one is this, that roots provide large surface area. Okay. How the large surface area? By developing root hairs. Point number one is clear. Point number two, that is cell sap of roots are highly concentrated. See the meaning of this statement. Okay. They are highly concentrated. What is the meaning of cell sap, students? See. The meaning of cell sap is a liquid present in the cell. Clear? Suppose this is a cell, then the liquid that is present in this is called as the cell sap. It is highly concentrated. What we can mark? That it is containing concentrated cell sap. If it contains concentrated cell sap, then for the movement of these concentrated cell sap, we need water. Okay? And from where the plant will get water? Definitely from the soil. And how the soil will give the water to the plant? With the help of the root. Okay? And for this, the root have the root hairs. So, what is the need to absorb the water? That is the cell sap of the roots. The root cells contains highly concentrated cell sap, high concentrated of salt as well as the minerals. And because of this, they need water so that they can easily pass these things to the upper part of the plant. So this is the second important point. Okay. Now, the third important point is root hairs have thin wall. This is also one of the important reason for the adaptation of the root to absorb the water. Okay. Root hairs have thin wall. Now see children. From where we get the root hairs? Root hairs are the extension of epidermal cell. Can you see? This is the epidermal cell. Now from this side, the epidermal cell has extended, protruded out, comes out. So, what is this? It is a root hair. Now, how we have got this root hair? From the extension portion of the epidermal cell. Okay. So, what is this root hair? It is the extended portion of epidermal cell. And if it is the extended portion of epidermal cell, then we all know that the plant cell contains cell wall as well as the cell membrane. So, the outer will be called as the cell wall and inner will be called as the cell membrane. Now, the cell wall is permeable. Suppose if I write here, the cell wall is permeable. Okay. So, what is the function of the cell wall now? Cell wall is thin and permeable. So, it will absorb all the water and all the mineral, all the salt, everything. Because it is highly permeable. So, without any selection, it will absorb whatever it will see in its surrounding, whether it is a water or it is a mineral. So, it will absorb the water. Now, after the absorption, when it will come to the second layer, this is called as the cell membrane. This cell membrane is semi-permeable. And the meaning of semi-permeable is selective membrane. What it will do? It will select the nutrient, important nutrient. That is, it will select the water as well as some of the minute minerals, not the minerals of the big size, because it is selective permeable membrane. Okay, so what it will do? Now what will happen by this process? The water as well as some of the minerals, they will enter into the root. Now, these root hairs contain vacuole. I have drawn vacuole. These contains large vacuole. And so, this water as well as the small amount of mineral, it will enter into the this root hair. It will enter into the vacuole, and from here it will passes to the rest part of the plant. Okay. So, this is the adaptation, that how the roots are able to adapt for the absorption of water. See, let me revise this. What things were there? Number one was surface area. Because of the presence of multiple or millions of the root hairs, we have the large surface area. What was the second point? Cell sap have the high concentration. If the cell sap of the root cells will have the high concentration, then definitely they will absorb more water. If they will absorb more water, then only these concentrated cell sap will move upward. Third important point is root hairs have a very thin wall. Okay, because these root hairs are made from the epidermal cells, and epidermal cells consist of cell wall and cell membrane, and the cell wall is permeable and cell membrane is semi-permeable. If the cell wall is permeable, it will absorb all the water, all the mineral, and if it will passes through cell membrane, then only selective substances will come inside. And inside, because it is a plant cell, a large vacuole is there, and they all are ready to absorb the water. And hence, the root will absorb the water. So, this is the adaptation in case of a root to absorb the water. Now, our next topic will be mode of absorption, how the roots will absorb the water. And we have 5 or 6 different methods of absorption. Number one is imbibition. Okay. After that, we have diffusion, osmosis, active transport, and passive transport. Okay. So now one by one we will see these topics.